This is a quick response to blows himself up dude on his video JEPH LOEB sucks. I'm a person that I really don't care for the quality of the writer as a person. I just care for the quality of their work. I don't read anything but Batman, but I will just quickly address what he was talking about with Hulk. That does seem unfair, but I'm going to offer the only counter-argument I can think of to try and balance it out a little bit, and that is, Red Hulk's apparently more powerful than Green Hulk. I don't really want to get into that. It's just the one thought I had while listening to you talk about that part. What I really did want to touch on was my view on Hush. Uh, Believe it or not, it did hint. He just responded to me in a comment as I mentioned that I did enjoy Hush, but it didn't earn it. He didn't write it in a way that seated Riddler all the way through it, and then it pays off big, and like, damn, Riddler's fucking awesome. It made no, capitalized no, indication it was Riddler, and then just lime on ya. Maybe that was supposed to be laid. Anya, it was Riddler all along. It was the laziest reveal ever. Actually, I did think that they did a pretty good job of seeding that it was Riddler. It was just very, very subtle. Let me pull it up here real quick, because there is indications Batman's trying to figure out who's telling his villains throughout the entire book. He's mentioning Rogues Gallery is acting differently. This is something strange. He brings that up several times when he's talking about questioning Croc and Ivy after the run-in with Superman in Metropolis. When he was fighting Superman in Metropolis, spoiler alert, when he was fighting Superman in Metropolis, he talks about how strange it was that Ivy thought to put kryptonite in her plants to take over Superman. That's something she never would have considered before because of how prideful she is. That was, in my mind at least, a seed that somebody's orchestrating this, someone's doing this. It's not just, it's not directly a seed to Riddler, but that comes later. Let's see, in Volume 2 of Hush, I think it happens a lot more when you see Joker laughing and getting beat up over Thomas Elliot, which was a pretty good hide, or whatever you want to call it, that Hush wasn't Thomas Elliot, who is the doctor that turned out to be Hush. Anyway, when they make it look like Joker killed him, that I thought was a pretty good twist in the story when you actually do find out that Elliot and Hush are the same person. But as I was saying, there is hints to Riddler, especially when Riddler is caught. It's talking about how obvious he is now, how pathetic he is, how everyone else is changing, but Riddler's staying the same. I'll pull it up right now. I got the images right here. I'm looking at them. Yeah, see, they're driving, Nightwing, Batman, driving in the Batmobile, and they're talking about Batman's relationship with Catwoman, which, anyways, they hear that there's a armored car robbery, and now Riddler's, he's sitting in the front of a van with two of his cronies. Well, boys, have you figured out what's got 4 wheels, costs $11 million, and flies? And, the answer was an armored car that's being stolen. And, Batman stops him, and he's like, Batman's got this inner monologue going on. The first person I ever revealed my identity to was Dick Grayson. He was about the same age I was when my parents were killed. His parents, circus acrobats, had been murdered, and I wanted to make a difference in his life. The way if my parents had lived, they would have made a difference in mine. Through the years, I've debated whether or not it was fair to for me to take him in, train him. This is not relevant to what I was talking about, though. I thought it would get there quickly, but it's been a minute since I've read this. Alright, so, Riddler's running through the sewers before he gets caught. And there's all this. And he comes up, and there's Batman standing right above him. He goes, I think about Edward Nygma and the life he has had as the Riddler. And once his obsessive need to have riddles as clues would confound me, everything about him has become routine. A solid gold garbage truck is the answer to the riddle. I half expect him to have retired by now. He's talking about how pathetic Riddler is lately, and I feel that that was a real good hint that, hey, it's going to be Riddler who's doing this, in my own way, because what that means to me is, you know, the most pathetic guy is really the biggest threat. Something that has been a big theme in Batman for a very long time, that the guy Batman underestimates is the one that caused him the most trouble. That was true at the beginning of The Dark Knight. I mean, one man or the entire mob. Biggest mistake in that movie was he didn't go after Joker right away. Biggest mistake in here is that he didn't think about Riddler as a suspect before he went out, while he was looking for other suspects in this investigation about who's tipping off his villains in different ways. So I did like Hush. I really don't care about much else that he said about JEPH LOEB. I don't care about the people. I don't read Hulk. I don't care about that. I just wanted to offer a defense for Hush, because I did like that book. If you do like Riddler like I do, I recommend the Hush story arc, because it is pretty good. It's like, it's very big. It involves Riddler very little, but it still worked for him. I really liked how it did present him as much, much greater of a threat. And also, I would recommend the storyline Riddle Me That from Legends of the Dark Knight 185 to 189, because that is just brilliant. It's the best Riddler story I've ever read to this day. Actually, his last two appearances in the Batman were pretty good, because it's thrown quite a curve at his recent character. Let me put it that way. I don't want to spoil it because they're still pretty new. It's 698 and 699. I recommend picking those up to read them. A little background on that: Riddler's gone straight, and he's now a private detective. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I did like Hush, and I liked it because it was very subtle that it was Riddler. I mean, it's not like, there's a tiny little riddle here that makes it obvious that it's Riddler. The only reference that it was Riddler is there's a panel. You can actually go back and find it. It's in one of the times when Elliot and Bruce Wayne are talking to each other. When Thomas Elliot and Bruce Wayne are talking to each other, you see Thomas Elliot looking through his notebook, his appointment book, and there's the alias that Riddler is using, which happened to be the guy who invented the crossword puzzle. That's the only hint that it's Riddler the entire time. Direct hint, at least. Alright. Peace, y'all.